Bellator MMA returns to the land of the rising sun for another epic co-promotion with Japan's MMA leader, Rizin Fighting Federation. The lightweight World Grand Prix is in full swing, but one final bout remains in the opening round. So what better place than Saitama Super Arena, drowning in history, to showcase two global superstars, Rizin lightweight king Roberto Satoshi Souza and former Bellator lightweight world champion Patricky Pitbull. One known for his world-class submission game, the other for his jaw-dropping knockout power.
I'm the king of chaos. Let's go!
It's a classic clash of styles between two fighters looking to move one step closer to the $1 million grand prize.
I love this because he wanna try to beat me. He think he's more fast than me, he have more power than me, but no, it's not true. I believe 100% in myself. I'm more dangerous than him. Be careful, the Pitbull's coming.
Plus, a brand new belt will be introduced as two of Japan's finest collide for the inaugural flyweight world title. Former Bellator and Rizin bantamweight champion Kyoji Horiguchi takes on fellow countryman and Rizin product Makoto Shinyu for the men's 125 strap. Grab a seat as Bellator and Rizin team up for an historic night of fights from Tokyo. Tokyo, Japan, are the most populous in the world, a leader in industry, a leader in culture, and absolutely one of the fight capitals of the world, especially this week. For over 2 decades, legends have been made, champions crowned at Saitama Super Arena. That tradition continues today. And you are inside the MMA cathedral known simply as Saitama, where tonight, yes, we begin a new era, but we also end the quarterfinals of the lightweight Grand Prix. 2 years ago, Patricky Pitbull's 16-year climb reached the top of the mountain and the world title. But one bad night, and now Sisyphus is pushing that rock back up the hill one more time. Tonight, he'll face Rizin's lightweight champion on the road to try and advance. As these two have, to a unique moment in the story of Japanese MMA. Is it the present against the future, or is it the future about to make the present the past? This spectacular building opened in the year 2000, the same year this man was born. Makoto Shinyu knows the history of Japanese MMA, but he has no patience. He wants the spot at the top of the list. The spot that currently belongs to this man, Kyoji Horiguchi, the only Bellator Rizin champ, trying to add to his legacy and to his trophy case. It is great to see you, as always. I'm Sean Grandi. The images the country of Japan have provided to MMA are indelible. Gracie Sakuraba, Fedor Krokop, Dan Henderson, Vanderlei winning Pride Grand Prix all the way to King Mo winning the first ever one in Rizin. But they all had one thing in common. The Gaijin, the foreigner. That's what makes this one so special. Two Japanese fighters. Yes, from two very different eras. Yes, with two very different styles, but both at the absolute top of their game, and it's why, as they come together tonight, fighting for a world title, there are people around here calling this one of the biggest fights in the history of Japanese MMA. So if we're talking history, and we're making history, well, we're always touching history when we're touching Big John McCarthy. You have stood in the center of this spectacular building. You've shared the cage with some of the best Japanese fighters ever. Where is Kyoji Horiguchi on that list?
I'll tell you what, he is definitely right at the top of that list. If you go over Kyoji Horiguchi's career, he has been spectacular. Now, he was in the UFC where he fought guys like Demetrius Johnson. He lost, but he's always gotten better after every fight, no matter win or loss. He has improved himself. He is powerful at 125. That is rarely seen. He's got amazing wrestling, amazing submissions. But the man that he's going up against, as you said, the future of this division, this guy is remarkable. He's fast, he's elusive, he hits very hard, especially on the ground. So Horiguchi has got to be at his best to get past Shinryu.
So the picture in the title fight is pretty clear. In the lightweight Grand Prix, it's a little bit murkier, as most of you know by now. AJ McKee suffering a nasty staph infection. He is out of the Grand Prix. He'll be the first alternate, but this is the updated bracket where tonight, Roberto de Souza, the Rizin lightweight champion, steps in, and he will face Patricky Pitbull for that final spot in the semifinals. That will be the co-main event tonight. For more on that, for more on the entire situation, the crazy week that was with last-minute changes to this tournament, we join Amanda Guerra and our own lightweight world champion, Josh Thompson.
Sean, thank you so much. Yes, I am here with Josh Roberto de Souza. He was at a barbecue 1 week ago today, said he got the call about the fight, looked at what he was eating, immediately set it down. He is the Rizin lightweight champ, but what is it like taking a fight at this magnitude on such short notice?
I've been in a very same situation, actually to fight in this arena. I was at a Warriors game, drinking a beer and eating chicken strips and fries, and Scott Coker gives me the call. I pick up the phone, he's like, I need you to fight. 10 days. Give me some. I said, okay, here I am. Look, what happens is making the decision can be very nerve-wracking, but once the decision is made, there's a sense of calm, and that's what we've seen this week from de Souza.
He told us everybody is going to remember what he's going to do tonight coming in this on short notice, but he's going up against our former champ in Patricky Pitbull. You fought against him. This guy has incredible power. How do these two match up stylistically?
Well, stylistically, they couldn't be more different. One's very good on the ground, and the other one's got knockout power. I mean, when I look at Patricky Pitbull, he's got power in both hands, and he can deliver. But Satoshi is somebody, de Souza Satoshi is somebody that he can mix it up all over on the feet, but his forte is to get it done on the ground. When he gets to that top position, even off of his back, he can threaten triangles and submissions. Look, this comes down to who can implement their game plan the best. Will it be on the ground for Satoshi, or will it be on the feet for Pitbull?
This fight initially wasn't planned, but we are so excited to watch it happen. Roberto de Souza, by the way, lives in Japan. He said he was going to be here tonight as a fan just watching. Now he is in the main event, or one of them. But to kick off the night, Sean, we'll send it back down to you.
Against each other 4 years ago, Andrey Koreshkov and Lorenz Larkin, they went head-to-head and back and forth, John, for 15 minutes, as close a fight as you could have.
Man, this fight had everything, Sean. It was so close. Both men were hurt in this fight. Both had their moments where they had the ability to finish their opponents, just weren't able to quite get it done. But they match up so well, especially in the stand-up. Lorenz Larkin's stand-up is just remarkable. Very fast, very accurate, very sharp as far as throwing straight shots. Koreshkov, the spinning attacks that he has, he's amazing. Great wrestling, but at the end of it, you can see right here, Lorenz Larkin had Koreshkov in trouble, lands that knee, very close to finishing him, and he got the split decision victory. An amazing fight. Cannot wait for this rematch.
You can see the relief on his face in that 29-28, 28-29, 29-28 split decision. The tail to tape in the opener.
Biggest thing you can take out of this, both men just outstanding in every aspect of MMA. But Koreshkov, with those spinning attacks, he does have that reach advantage. 76-inch reach compared to 72.5 for Lorenz Larkin.
A night that opens a new weight class and closes the quarterfinals of the lightweight Grand Prix. It begins, as always, with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator Japan Live. Gets underway inside the cage with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 170.6 pounds, the former welterweight title challenger brings 25 professional victories, 7 losses. Right now at number 9, presenting Lorenz, the Monster Larkin. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170.8 pounds, the former Bellator welterweight world champion enters with 26 professional victories, 4 defeats. He's currently ranked at number 5, introducing Andrey Martin. Kerry Hadley.
About 30 years ago, a bunch of guys sat down and said, you know what, this new sport's great, but we need some cool rules.
We do, and Bellator has fought under the unified MMA rules. That is a 10-point most scoring system with the winner awarded 10 points, the opponent getting 9 or less. That is based upon effective striking, grappling, then followed by aggressiveness and cage control. Our feature bouts are 3 5-minute rounds, with our championships, Grand Prix, and main events are all 5 5-minute rounds.
It always reminds me of Spicoli passing the test at the end saying, yeah, we need some new rules. And then he said, we don't get new rules. We're not going to be cool either.
That's it.
Now, don't adjust your device. The crowds in Japan are different. They are respectful and they are quiet.
They absolutely understand all the elements of MMA, and when something happens, you're going to hear them. They just explode, but then they get quiet again as a respect for the fighters.
Koreskov has been a very fast starter. Ask Ben Henderson, among others. He had a run 2014, 2015, 2016. It seemed like he went 3 years without losing a round.
Yeah, he has been just an outstanding, when we talk about staying consistent, it's so difficult in MMA to stay consistent based upon injuries, training, all these different things. He's always stayed in that consistent fashion. Same coach all the time with Alexander Shlemenko.
Particularly for a fighter who's had issues with visas and travel.
Yeah, honestly, when you're looking, visas have been his biggest problem in the cage.
Start strong here. You saw the spinning attack trying to set up some of this.
Nice attack to the body also. And you're going to see Koreshkov many times, just like you just saw, just a change of levels to see where the hands of Lorenz Larkins go. Does Lorenz bring his hands down to stop that takedown, or does Lorenz keep his hands in place? You'll see Koreshkov actually just feint the takedown and try to bring the right hand or the left hand over the top.
Remember when Koreshkov won the world title when he beat Douglas Lima? Everyone assumed he was going to stand the entire time, and he out-wrestled Douglas Lima in that fight for 5 rounds. One of the great Bellator trilogies. Douglas Lima won the final 2, regaining the world title in Tel Aviv.
If you talk to Douglas Lima, one of the things he'll say is, no one wants to fight Koreshkov. He goes, I just kept having to fight him over and over again, but nice left hook by Koreshkov.
Level change and the takedown.
And beautifully done, well timed by Koreshkov. And the real question is here, how does he keep Lorenz Larkin down? You see Lorenz putting his back to the cage. Smart move by Lorenz. He's just trying to bide his time. But look at the use of the legs by Koreshkov, using his legs to actually hold on to the legs of Lorenz Larkin. That's going to keep Lorenz down until he gets his legs free.
You've refereed here, you've called fights here. Have you seen fighters thrown by the lack of noise? And then the second part of that is it different now when almost all of these fighters have been through COVID and fought now in empty buildings?
Boy, it's a great question, because I think it really has changed the fact, based upon when we were doing fights in empty arenas, and fighters got used to that empty sound. Now it's not a big thing, but most fighters want to come to Japan. Most want to perform in front of these fans because they know that the fans understand what they're doing, and when they're doing something that is difficult and special, they get the reaction from the crowd.
A reminder, coming up next, you will hear Danny Sabatello.
You will hear Danny talking.
Koreshkov not really advancing this position, but he's already done some damage and been more active earlier in the round.
What he's trying to do is that Dagestani leg tie that you're seeing right there, that leg lace. That's a figure 4 of it, and you're seeing Lorenz getting his right leg free. But Lorenz in this position is saying, well, I'm not getting damaged, and so I'll let. And he just looks over at me, and he says, I'll let him work hard. I'm not working hard right now. I'm going to let Koreshkov burn himself out. Burn your arms out trying to hold me down. And when I get up, I'm going to explode.
And he's a guy who hasn't taken a lot of damage, and he's talked about that this week at age 36, fighting as well as he ever has. And a guy he has shared a cage with and has a win over, Robbie Lawler, obviously retired, and he talked about how some of the other fighters his age have just taken a lot more damage.
Well, it's so, it's an accurate statement, and I tell people all the time, you can only crash your car so many times before your car it's a piece of junk. And so as a fighter, it's great to be in those battles and be in those wars, but you want to be like a Lorenz Larkin where you're the one being the hammer. You don't want to be the nail. Very nice move by Koreshkov there to keep Lorenz. Lorenz was almost had his hand to the ground, was swinging his legs out. He caught the leg, kept him on the ground. But again, this can win the round based if Lorenz is unable to do damage to him. But it's not doing any kind of damage to Lorenz, and it's not really putting any strain on Lorenz. The guy that's working harder at this moment right now is Koreshkov, and he's taking some of those elbows. Those don't feel good. Nice move right there by Koreshkov to try to explode, get up. Larkin back on his feet. Now Larkin has to press.
Koreshkov, he certainly was biding his time throughout that first round. This is when he decided to shoot.
Yeah, and so well timed. You see him throw the combination here. Boom, throws that left hook. Here he comes. Left hook, and then drops levels. Beautifully done, right into the legs. Nice driving double leg takedown, but you see Lorenz scooting back. But let's be honest, that takedown, although it didn't do a whole lot, it put Koreshkov in position to be the winner of the round based upon the stand-up was basically even, and you're taking a look at the grappling section. Obviously, Koreshkov wins it. He's going to take that round, in my opinion, 10-9.
I asked Koreshkov the other day what even though he feels he's a better fighter now, obviously at 32, as opposed to how dominant he was. So what would you tell? What was that fighter missing? What would you tell him? He said everything. And he, and yet we watched him just dominate elite world-class competition. He fought 2 straight fights, winning the title from Douglas Lima in his first title defense against Ben Henderson. He didn't just beat, he won all 10 of those rounds.
Oh, I mean,
some
easily.
of them big.
Yeah. But one of the things that makes Lorenz Larkin so difficult to deal with in the stand-up is he does throw things straight most of the time. Obviously, he's going to throw looping shots, hooks, things like that, but likes straight right hand down the middle. They get there fast and they're accurate.
This is where the first fight started to turn.
And right in those positions, that's a nice attempt at the spinning back fist by Koreshkov, but you're leaving yourself open. You're giving that opportunity to Larkin to counter it.
Koreshkov won the first round in the first fight 4 years ago. We spent a lot of time when two guys get back together and it's a rematch talking about the first fight. But when 4 years has gone by, are you still taking stuff from that, or are guys different fighters?
Well, you got to figure you're going to take some things from it, but you also realize, look, he's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be little things, but he's going to be basically the same guy. And what was it that worked for me in that first fight? What was he having problems with, and what did he do that created problems for me? Those are things I want to work on.
Larkin seeing those spinning attacks coming. He landed a good low leg kick about 15 seconds ago. And remember, when Koreshkov lost the title, he got careless. And the reason he got careless is because Douglas Lima was kicking the living daylights out of his legs.
Yeah. And one of the things that you're seeing though right now, Larkin is the one that's starting to control the distance of this fight. And we talked about the length of Koreshkov. He has the reach advantage. That's why you're seeing Larkin is taking, and he's bringing himself inside of that kickboxing range, more into a boxing range. That takes a lot of that reach advantage away, and a lot of the spinning attacks that Koreshkov likes to unleash. Koreshkov is not going to get that takedown with that type of attempt, but he's got him up against the cage, and here he can do some work, a little bit of dirty boxing, grind on him, try to wear his arms down.
This is right when the first fight turned heavily in Larkin's favor, almost at a knockout in round 2.
Absolutely, it was a moment off of the cage.
Yeah,
and you saw with that elbow that Larkin threw against Berkimov. I mean, he is devastating as far as his ability to generate power in a very short distance.
Fair to say that Lorenz Larkin seems to be a little more relaxed and looser and playing with house money at this stage of his career.
He's always been that guy that is, he doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't look at his opponents, and, he'll keep his eyes down. Lorenz is just a different type of breed. He's very, very intellectual. He looks at things and he breaks things down, and he just says, hey, I don't have to win every minute of the fight. I just have to win the fight. And that's what a smart fighter does. See, and this is, that's nice as far as the spinning attack off of it to break off. But you saw when Lorenz is pushing the head down, that's a lot of energy being spent by Koreshkov to stay in that position. So it was good to see him break off.
Number two, a lot of energy expended by Koreshkov trying to keep Larkin down in that first round.
Koreshkov throwing with a lot of power. He's putting a lot on these. Oh, there's that
elbow.
Same elbow strike he put Berkimov with. He hurt him with it too. That's why you see Koreshkov, he felt it. That's why he's going back at that point. Right now, as you're looking at this, Koreshkov is winning this fight, but it is Lorenz Larkin that is the fresher fighter at this moment. We're going to see if that has any kind of change coming through the rest of this fight. Koreshkov's been working very hard, a lot of grappling. His arms are getting a little heavy, a lot of lactic acid in there. That's not easy to continue that pace.
Come on. Hey, body work to get to the seat clap. Little body work. Body work down, go to the seat clap.
And you see Larkin is using his left hand on the bicep. He can use that on the bicep, putting pressure down. That's making Koreshkov work, or he wants to dig that underhook and turn Koreshkov in this position, because Koreshkov with that left hand in that underhook, that's how he's keeping his position with beautiful head position too.
Certainly a better round in a lot of ways for Larkin, but did he do enough to win it?
Yeah, that's the real question as you look at it. Larkin's had his moments, but so has Koreshkov, and Koreshkov has been the guy that's actually, been leading the pace.
I wonder about those couple of elbows, though, that Larkin did land, including that last one. When the first fight was so close between these two, and that was a very close round, too. Do you hold the pen over the paper a little extra second when it's a super close round?
No, as a judge, when you're a commentator, yes, because you're talking and you're not, doing the same things to monitor the fight. But as the judge, you should know, once that bell goes off, you know who, based upon the way that you're looking at it with, almost like a scale of saying who's in the lead. And as soon as that round goes, you're going to put your mark down.
Yeah, you're not doing like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
No, if you're doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you should be outside.
See on the Bellator cage there, Logan Storling, the #1 contender. Lost to Amistov in his return, and Brennan Ward, that fight coming up.
He's got his hands full with Brennan Ward.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Brennan is power personified.
Brennan Ward was on track to fight Andrey Koreshkov for the world title, and then when Ben Henderson got signed at the start of 2016, that fight got changed, and it sort of altered the career direction for both guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brennan Ward actually fought Koreshkov's coach for the middleweight title at one time.
And that was, we're talking about later with Shinyu fighting So Young. Brennan Ward, just at that point, he had a meteoric rise, but that was a huge level up against LeMaker.
Absolutely, and this is where we go into that. You don't know what you don't know until all of a sudden you know, and that's when you're facing that person that everything that you've done before works. Now it doesn't, and they're putting you in positions that you've never been put in before. That's fighting. There's levels.
What about someone like Josh, who just never seems to know what he doesn't know ever?
Josh is a very intelligent fighter in the cage, man. I was in the cage many times with him, and he was always super smart in there, and that tells you exactly what he is on the outside.
I'm interested to hear his take on this fight and the Koreshkov strategy.
I love
I do too.
The Koreshkov strategy is exactly what you would expect him to do in order to get a win against Lorenz Larkin. And here's where Larkin needs to start to really, I can't sit, I've got to go.
Because there's an element of, all right, I stay cool under pressure, I stay in control,
I'm not
but
getting damaged.
He hasn't been on offense really in this fight.
I'm not getting damaged, but I'm not going to win.
Koreshkov goes back to the early days of Bellator, the early tournament format, won the welterweight tournament twice. First the title shot when he was 22 against Ben Askren. And if he beats Lorenz Larkin here, that Ben Askren fight will be the only unavenged loss because he has a win over Douglas Lane, but who's
That's right. Right now, he's keeping those hands clasped around the waist of Lorenz. Lorenz is trying to put pressure down on him, trying to hit him with elbows at times to, get his attention and make him move. And you see all that pressure that Lorenz is putting on the head. That's a great job, and that's making it to where Andrey has a hard time moving his body to any other position. You see the figure four, he's trying to get on the legs here so he can do something different. But Lorenz is going to have to explode. He's going to have to say, I've got to take chances now. I got to get myself moving because he's just going to hold on to me.
As we see it one way, it's hardly out of the realm of possibility that a judge or two saw the second round for Larkin.
Absolutely. Could have. It could, this could be even right now. And so you got to look and say, man, not only do I want to finish, but I've got to make it to where the judges at least know that I win this last round. Nice shot again by Koreshkov. Clean right hand. Koreshkov looking tired.
He is. Again, look at that late first round.
And this is what we were talking about.
And he's taking shots now.
Oh, he took a big shot right there. That's a big elbow. He's hurt.
Yeah, Lorenz Larkin has Koreshkov staggered here.
Yeah. And Lorenz doing a nice job. He's not crushing the space. He's looking for that opening. Nice knee. Oh, nice job by Koreshkov to turn get the back on that. Basically a duck under to the back. No doubt Larkin had Koreshkov hurt there, and Koreshkov just dug deep. Nice duck under, takes him back to the ground. Lorenz has got to get back to what he was doing earlier. He's got to get himself out of this position, back to his feet, so he can use his striking ability.
Koreshkov was absolutely hurt, and it looked to me like Larkin wasn't fighting in that moment like a guy who thought he was down 0-2. Like here's my opportunity.
Yeah, and you could be right. And it could be, this is, that round where you take a look and you go,
second round.
You don't know, so you got to be looking for that finish. Right here, he needs to fight the hands. He's trying to break those hands apart. There, he's got them apart now. Now high crotch for Koreshkov. Great job by Larkin pushing on the head. That's going to keep Koreshkov from being able to get his hips in, which is going to make Lorenz Larkin light. Koreshkov just gutting it out right now. There's a lot of weight on him, a lot of pressure. He's trying to get this final takedown. He knows he gets this takedown. He's going to get this round is the way he's looking at it.
4 years ago, a super close fight that came down to probably a single 10-second span in round 2. 4 years later, an almost identical fight.
Nice round for Larkin. The real question is which way did the judges go in that second round?
And always remind you, when you see a fight at the end, and you see one guy up walking around dancing and the other guy completely exhausted and spent, sometimes that's not a great sign to be that guy that still has all the energy left. Maybe
no, and that's the point. It's like, I'm able to walk around and look good. Well, then you should have used it in the fight. Great job of getting that double leg by Koreshkov. This is what's happened in the first round. And he did a great job with the body shots. He went to the body a lot. And this is where Larkin in the third round really started landing heavy shots. The big elbows, you see Koreshkov is hurt, a little bit buzzed there. Ends up, the knee doesn't hit where it's supposed to. He ducks under, gets the takedown, and from that point, rode out on the top position with Larkin. Tough fight for both guys. We're going to see which way it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first, Sal D'Amato, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Koreshkov. Your second judge, Brian Miner, 29-28, scoring the fight for Larkin. Your third and final judge at cage side, Michael Bell, scoring the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Andrey Koreshkov.
A near identical result, except the other way around. It is Andrey Koreshkov by a single point that gets the split decision win in the rematch. How poetic is that? They got it right.
I believe they did get it right, but the one thing I think Lorenz Larkin is going to go back and look at, at the end of the fight, you talked about it. Had all that energy, should have pushed just a little bit more. Maybe it would have made the difference.
As far as personalities goes, these are the two guys you want to watch step inside the cage. You have Danny, the trash-talking Italian gangster Sabatello, and then Magomedov, by the way, who speaks Russian, doesn't shy away from the trash-talking. But Josh, let's start with Danny Sabatello. Look, we know him for the trash-talking, as he's doing right there, for the sunglasses, for the headband, for the shirts that are unbuttoned down to his belly button. But he is becoming so well known in the world of MMA because of what he's doing inside the cage. Talk to us about some of his success recently.
Success, he's had success since coming into Bellator inside that cage. He brings the trash talk, but he also brings the action inside the cage. And when he gets to that top position, utilizing what he does best, and he knows what he does best, it's his wrestling. And when he fought Breno, he understood, look, I just signed a new contract. They told me they need finishes. My objective is to get finishes. He went out there and he performed, he got his finish, and now he's on to the next one. Look, he brings everything to the table. The trash talk, the promoting of the fights, the promoting of the organization, and he delivers.
Absolutely. Look at him. So after that fight, he actually called out Magomedov, and we asked Magomedov this weekend, what'd you think about that, getting called out? He was like, I loved it. And if he hadn't called me out, I would have called him out sooner rather than later. But these two guys going up against one another, I mean, we just saw the wrestling of Danny Sabatello. How does Magomedov try to deal with that?
Well, it's always nice when the master makers don't have to do their job. They just let the fighters do the job, and that's exactly what happened. But Magomedov, he's a fantastic wrestler. He's got great submissions, but the way that I see him getting this done, if he's gonna get it done tonight, look, it's not so much that he needs to stuff the takedowns. What he needs to do is he needs to threaten the submissions off the takedown attempts to make Sabatello change his position and potentially put his neck in the wrong position, like Barzola did here. Barzola forced the takedown, jumped right into the guillotine, and that was the rest of the night for Barzola. Out of the tournament, and then Magomedov moves on. Look, what I'm talking about right now with Magomedov is the spinning attacks are going to be key in this fight, stuffing and making Sabatello work for the takedowns and threatening the submissions. He is so well-rounded. That's all he's got to do. I say that's all he's got to do. But he can get it done. I'm telling you, he's one of the best in the world.
So you fought in this arena. This is my first time here, so that was my first fight, learning to deal with the silence. And we were talking to Danny. Danny says, look, I don't want it to be quiet. I love it being loud. He does the trash talking. He said, I think they're on the verge of going nuts, and he's going to try to make this crowd go nuts.
Dennis has been very clear this week. He's here to change the culture in the fight game here. It's going to be loud and crazy. He's going to try to get them on their feet.
We'll see if Danny Sabatello can change the culture here. Guys, it's going to be incredible. Maybe we'll hear some of that chirping in the cage. Sean, back down to you.
Yeah, changing the culture could have both a positive or negative effect. We'll find out in a second here as we await the bantamweight title showdown coming up between Sergio Pettis and the $1 million knee Apache mix. Easy to forget how ridiculously deep the division is. Rafion Stotts, Juan Archuleta, but the winner here, the winner of this one, may very well be the next in line.
You know, you take a look at everything, and everything is so close. The only difference in these two, 5'10" to 5'7", is that going to be a difference because Danny Sabatello is the grappler. He's got to really get down low to get into the body frame of Magomedov.
To Michael C. Williams.
MMA moves now. We introduce first the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 135.8 pounds. Now at number 5 in the rankings, he holds 14 professional victories, just 2 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Danny, the Italian gangster, Sabatello. And across the cage is adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 136 pounds even as a professional. 19 wins, 3 defeats. Introducing the number 4 ranked Magomed, Tiger Magomedov. And your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
First round. Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
Fight!
We did spend so much time talking to Danny about the crowd and how quiet they are. This is a sold-out building with 20,000 people in here in Saitama right now.
Danny talked about changing the culture of Japan with his. He goes, I'm going to change the culture of the fans. I'm going to make them scream for me. We're going to find out.
Meanwhile, it's always so tempting to say, Magomedov's going to use an 8-iron here. This is Going to be a fascinating fight, particularly when it gets to the ground, because Danny Sabatello has dominated guys and held them down, and Magomedov said, listen, you wrestle on the streets in Dagestan. Everybody can wrestle there. There's no way he's going to be able to hold me down.
We're going to find out, because Sabatello's been able to hold a lot of people, and he covers a lot of ground on his takedown attempts. That was really nice. 1 for 1 right there, Sean.
And again, the distance. Normally, with 9 out of 10 guys, maybe more, John, you'd say, no, that's too far away. Don't try it. But he can cover that ground.
I would have said that's too far, but he proves me wrong, and he gets that takedown. And it's just the chain wrestling that you see out of Sabatello. He does not stop. He doesn't give up on it. And if he doesn't get it, he doesn't get down on himself and get all, oh, I can't get the takedown. I'm just going to do it again. Beautiful.
Nice. We did talk to Magomedov about the trash talking. And here's the thing about Danny Sabatello and what I was talking about the performance art. It's not personal. It's part of what he does, and I think a lot of it is to psych himself up.
Oh, there's no doubt. Like, Danny Sabatello, first off, he is a natural fighter. He loves this. And he is a guy that has to get himself motivated towards a fight. He wants to be in that position where he wants to go in there and scrap with you. Nice job of getting the neck here. Magomedov knows that he's a little bit off, okay? That's what happens right there when you don't have that position. We talk about position before submission. But nice attempt by Danny Sabatello, and that's telling Magomedov, hey, this guy's going to try to attack me no matter where it's at.
Find someone to love you the way Danny Sabatello loves his coaches and his team at ATT.
But it's funny if you know the story of, he just walked into ATT and just said, hey, I'm here to fight. And they kind of looked at him like, yeah, huh? Well, he proved himself. He's loved there now. Nice,
good shot from
nice combination by Magomedov. Again, Sabatello really far on the outside with that shot. He needs to use his hands to set up the takedown. Combinations with your hands to get your opponent blocking the shots, then come in with your takedown attempt. Oh, right to mount for Magomedov. Nice job by Sabatello to scramble out of that.
Got out of that quick.
He needs to be careful.
Yeah,
that's
leaving his
tight.
neck.
Nice job of rolling out. Great movement by Sabatello.
That really was. That could have been trouble.
That was tight at the beginning. That was a ninja choke that he had on there. Now he's looking towards the guillotine. Sabatello's arm is trapped inside. That might be in a position where it's actually helping him with the pressure, but man, he's got to get his head out. He's feeling this.
It's over.
Beautiful, beautiful guillotine attack by Magomedov. We talked about it with the Barzola fight. He's so good at trapping that. Once it's on, it's locked on tight.
It is the first time Danny Sabatello has been submitted, and it's Magomedov who pulls it off.
Guillotine, thank you.
Was it going to be early enough in the fight, and he was so dry that helped?
Being that it was early in the fight, you're taking a look at it makes a difference. And let's take a look. Here comes Sabatello. That's that deep takedown. He goes for it. This is the first one. Continues to press forward. He finally gets the takedown. You saw Magomed get back up. He returned him to the mat right here. Well done by Sabatello. But as Magomedov talked about, I wrestle all the time. Everybody in Dagestan wrestles. He knew right there he was out of position on that submission. Just shucks him off. And here's where he jumps to that guillotine. And that is tight. You see that arm, the right arm of Sabatello trapped inside. That's a problem. He can use it to try to break the hands, but it's in a position where it's not going to help him. That is a tight guillotine hold. Beautiful submission win by Magomedov.
Michael C. Williams will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a guillotine choke. Official time, 3 minutes, 55 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission, Magomed, Tiger Magomedov.
A lot of sportsmanship, a lot of respect between these two. Magomedov gets his 20th career win, a big one, and he is with Big John.
Your winner, Magomedov, that was a beautiful guillotine attack. You talked about your ability to catch him in his wrestling and get the submission, and you did it.
Прекрасный гильотин был, ты всегда говорил, что ты можешь его поймать в гильотин во время борьбы, и ты так и сделал.
Да, я говорил, но я не собирался ее делать. Просто момент попал, и я попробовал ее сделать, и получилось. Thank you, Japan. You best fun.
He said, yeah, I wasn't really necessarily looking for it. It was just there, and when I grabbed it, I felt like I could finish it, so I went for it.
でもチャンスが来たら絶対に逃さないようにしようと思いました。もうこれはサブミッションチャンスと思ったので決めました。そして日本の皆様もありがとうございます。
That's a big win coming off of the tournament. Who is it that Magomed wants to face next?
Важный выигрыш, особенно после Grand Prix. С кем ты хочешь сражаться?
Я не хочу никого вызывать. Здесь был итальянский гангстер. Я забрал этот, теперь дагестанский гангстер. Я когда-то потерял короля джунглей. Хочу забрать свою корону. Ну, вы поняли, о ком я?
He said, you know, I fought the Italian gangster, now I'm Dagestan gangster. One time I lost to a king of the jungle, so, you know, I want a title.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a big win.
Еще хочу сказать, не только японским зрителям, всем в Дагестане, кто меня списывал со счетов, списанный летчик, он еще до сих пор летчик, не забывайте об этом. Всем мира и добра.
He said, I want to say, not just to the fans in Japan, but also in Dagestan and all over the world who counted me out, never count me out, because a retired pilot is still a pilot.
ありがとうございます。皆さん、応援いただいて、そして次戦誰と戦いたいですかという質問をいただきましたけれども、ギャングスターというギャングスターと戦い、そしてキングというキングと戦ってきましたので、やはりタイトルが欲しいです。そのために頑張っていきます。そして、応援してくださる皆様ありがとうございます。
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Magomedov.
おめでとうございました。
The Dagestani gangster is back in the mix at bantamweight. Josh, when we were coming over here today, you said, when we were breaking down this fight, talking about it, you said, but I can see Magomedov catching him in a guillotine and something like that early in the fight.
The way that Danny Sabatello wrestles, it's his transitions. He goes from his double leg to his single leg, sometimes back to the double, and he leaves his neck in positions that are able to be caught. And it really comes down to when he was trying to finish that body lock and drive into it, a little bit how Barzola got caught. As you push into them, you're actually giving them the head and the neck a little bit more. And Danny was fighting the hand, and when Magomed threw the legs up around the body to pull guard, he actually was able to capture that hand inside so that Danny wasn't able to defend. Beautifully executed, beautifully done. And Magomedov is a problem. He's a problem for everyone in that bantamweight division.
I agree. I also think maybe it's a time difference because they're being really nice to you. like Big John and Sean are being super nice to you today. I don't know what's going on here. Just kidding. Our next fight here in Japan, this one has the potential to be an all-out brawl. Kana Watanabe ranked 3rd, looking to climb in the rankings in the flyweight division or earn a title shot in the near future. Fighting tonight in her home country, taking on 7th ranked Veta Arteaga. Kana Watanabe told us this week she is right where she wants to be. She doesn't feel any pressure fighting in Japan, that it is her biggest motivation to fight for the people who have truly supported her. As for Veta Arteaga, this will be the quickest turnaround of her career, but when she got offered the fight, she said it was a yes for her in so many ways. She gets to fight, the third-ranked flyweight. She's always wanted to fight in Japan. She is healthy as well. Josh, we mentioned this could be an absolute brawl. What do you expect to unfold between these two women?
I expect Veta Arteaga to really just try to keep the space, use the jab, put it in her face, not close the distance. Don't fight her in a phone booth. That's where Watanabe wants to be. She wants to be in that judo range where she can clinch and grab. When she's able to get to that position, look for the foot sweeps, look for the hip tosses, look for her to get this fight to the ground at any moment, any time. And when she gets on top, she's got heavy hips and great transitions. You see the triangle here. She sets this in on Denise Killhold's one of the best kickboxers in the game. Is able to get her down and then dominate the position from there. But Veta is somebody, like I said, she is, in no offense, she's a dog inside that cage. She is someone that is aggressive. She lets the hands go, but she's got to be straight with her punches. She can't afford for them to be loopy because then that will allow Watanabe to get inside. But Veta is someone who can get on the neck in the grappling exchanges. But for me, I feel that Vita's got to be the one that is on top. She's good at capturing the neck and the guillotine. She's good at getting to good top position and doing the ground and pound. I just don't feel that she should be on bottom against someone like Watanabe. It really comes down to who can implement their game plan the best and who can get it done tonight.
Let's keep things going. Sean, let's send it back down to you.
All right, guys. Well, later on, we will see the inaugural men's flyweight world title fight in Bellator. The women's division, meanwhile, that's been a hit since day number 1. As champion Liz Carmouche and former champion Alima Lynn McFarland circle each other at the top. A national hero looks to stake her claim tonight, fighting at home for the first time in 4 years. The tail of the tape and a very important fight in the division.
Yeah, the big difference here, you can take a look at all the intangibles, but the 66-inch to 64, meaning that Veta Arteaga has to come in to Kana Watanabe to land her shots, and that gives Kana the ability to grab hold and use her judo.
To Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features the flyweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the blue corner, at 5'4", weighing in 126 pounds, the former title challenger stands now with 7 professional victories, 5 losses, with the number 7 ranking. She fights out of Boise, Idaho, USA, presenting Veta Arteaga. And across the cage, her adversary fights out of the red corner at 5'6", weighing in 125.5 pounds. The number 3 ranked contender brings 11 professional victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw. She fights out of Tokyo, Japan. Introducing the judo beauty beast, Kana Watanabe. In charge, Brian Miner.
Ready? Ready? Fight.
The forward pressure of Veta Arteaga. That is what to watch for. And John, in a very contentious conversation you had with her the other day, you put some forward pressure on her. Why?
I put pressure on her based upon what Kana is going to do is foot sweeps, beautiful hip tosses, and she's great with her judo at getting you to the ground. And my real question was, when you hit the ground, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I'm just going to work from that point. Now, she is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but when you're on your back and you're against someone like Kana Watanabe, who has a very strong ground and pound, you can only take so many shots before you just wear yourself out. So my big thing is, are you going to try to get back to your feet where you have the advantage based upon your brawling style? Or are you going to try to beat her on the feet? Right there, you see Veta landing straight shots. That's what she needs to do.
As opposed to the looping ones that have gotten her in trouble.
That's right.
And remember, Watanabe's loss, her 2 losses. One came that's narrow split decision to Elimele McFarland in April in Hawaii, a decision that a lot of people debated back and forth.
True.
But when she got run over by Liz Carmouche, it was forward pressure that she never got into the fight.
That's exactly it. And a lot of people will tell you if you're going to go after Kana, she starts fairly slow. She's starting pretty fast right here today, but she starts kind of slow, so get after her quick. And we're seeing right now that Veta has had the ability to land some shots, but she cannot give her back to Watanabe in this type of situation. This is going to lead to a takedown.
Are you surprised how quickly she gave her back there rather than try to stay on her feet?
Yeah, that was a mistake just in where she dug the underhook to try to, just get a neutral position. She was looking to get out from it. It didn't work for her, and now Watanabe on the back is able to ride here and see what she can do as far as getting her to the ground. The thing that if you're looking at a judo player where they're really good compared to wrestlers as far as it's the foot sweeps. You watch the foot sweeps that they utilize. They're just outstanding and tricky with them the way they do it, and they happen fast. Nice job by
Yeah,
Arteaga.
straight rights are getting through here.
Nice knee inside by Arteaga also. Arteaga, and this is the style that she needs to deploy to get the win here today. Is she's got to make it a grimy, nasty, ugly fight where everything that Kana does ends up getting her touched by something.
Left hook from Arteaga touched Watanabe.
Left hand, please. Left hand. Good. Double changes. Good. Gotta reach it.
Clean left hand by Kana Watanabe right down the pipe.
Veta Arteaga can take a lot of damage. We've seen that throughout her career in Bellator.
Oh, that's the thing about her is, I always say the person you don't want to fight is the person that does not give up. And that's Veta Arteaga. She does not give up. You have got to finish her or she's going to
That's a big right for Veta Arteaga.
That hurt right there.
It did.
Kana was hurt on that shot. She did not like the feel of that. Go for this takedown here.
Veta Arteaga's been very clean here in the stand-up in the first 3.5 minutes.
There she looks for that. Trying for the Uchimata. Doesn't get it off of it, but still deep inside. A lot of head pressure by Kana Watanabe.
Good. Strong. Use your butt. Use fire. Go. Hey. Hook, please. Hook. Yeah, behind it. Put something behind it. Hey, bring your feet now.
Another straight right. Short left. These are good shots from Veta Arteaga.
Very good shots. Landing clean, popping the head of Kana Watanabe right back.
Watanabe's the one throwing the more looping shots.
Yep.
Trying to set up position. This has been a very good first round here for Veta Arteaga.
Hook cross. Stop.
Another change, and she still had not been able to get her to the ground.
Right with where she's at, you can take a look. Look at how Veta is taken. She's splaying her legs out, making it difficult, putting a lot of weight down on the head of Kana Watanabe. Kana has to come up and now try to reestablish the position. Great work by Veta Arteaga.
Watanabe finally gets the takedown, but very late in the round.
Very little time. A nice job of landing shots right here.
They're more concerned with getting back on her feet than defending these shots. But most likely too little too late in that round for Kana Watanabe. Two defiant arms in the air for Veta Arteaga.
The real straight shots like that right hand that you saw from Veta, those are the ones that really got through and landed and did some damage here. Veta did a great job of breaking off, creating space at times, and landing that beautiful left hook right there. At the end, Kana Watanabe was able to get that takedown, but overall, it was all of this tight-fisted action and the straight shots that Veta Arteaga landed that really made a difference in this fight, made Kana Watanabe work very hard. There's that takedown right at the end, but there was only 15 seconds left in the round, but she did a good job of peppering her with that right hand right at the end.
already see some of the damage that Watanabe has taken. Veta Arteaga so excited to be here this week and to fight in this building. She had older brothers, which, by the way, is a story in and of itself as far as becoming a fighter. It's not uncommon. But what her older brothers, among the things they introduced Veta Arteaga to, pride.
Absolutely, and
watching
that's
the
what
great
she fell in
fights.
love with, and that's why she started becoming a fighter.
We got another great fight in Japanese MMA history coming up next. Now, Watanabe wasting no time, using the head. It's a better start here in round 2.
Beautiful sweep.
Yep.
That was a beautiful foot sweep by Kana Watanabe. That's what led her to getting the back here. We'll see if she's able to do something with it. Last time, Veta was able to work her way out of this. And what you want to see out of Veta is she wants to get that right arm to the other side of Kana Watanabe's body. Now she has the ability to get to a 50-50 position and to work her way out.
Throw an elbow to create some space.
Kana
Able to
Watanabe,
stuff the takedown.
she's really working hard right now.
Pull it up now, stuff the head. Pull it up and stuff the head. Belly whizzer. Belly whizzer. Belly whizzer. Take away. Take away. Get to the center. Drop the catch. Kick away. There we go. Get to the center. Go.
Veta using her left hand there, you see on the head of Watanabe.
Vita's doing a great job of defending the takedown, making Watanabe work very hard, and come away basically empty-handed with these takedowns. She scored the one in the first round late at the end, but other than that, Arteaga's done a great job of defending all of the takedown attempts of Watanabe.
The left from Watanabe got through. Now,
There, she
finally,
got her to the ground.
it's time to work.
And the one thing that we've been seeing is Veta is very free at giving her backup. She doesn't think that's a problem. We'll see if it ends up being a problem for her because she's turning again right now, trying to get herself back to her feet.
What does she tell us if she gets in a bad position? Jits before hits, which is a t-shirt waiting to be made.
Knee sliding, fight the lock. She's not fighting. She's not fighting right now. She's holding it. She's trying to catch her breath. Knee slide. Knee slide.
How is Veta using her elbow here, her left elbow?
Well, what she's doing is just putting pressure down. It's that right hand on the ground that's causing Watanabe problems right now. Watanabe wants to reach out and take that hand away and basically just fold Veta Arteaga over, but it's too far away. She's having too many problems with the legs of Arteaga.
Go forward. Go forward. There we go. We're big one. Go forward. Jab, jab, oh. More than one jab, jab, oh. More than one. Circle to your left. Beautiful.
Really seeing the difference in the stand-up here.
Move your head. Move your head. You gotta throw down forward.
So I don't think a lot of people anticipated Watanabe having as much trouble getting his fight to the ground as she has had.
No, I think if you were looking at it, you were thinking that if Watanabe was able to get a nice body lock on Arteaga, she was going to be able to get that takedown, and it just has not come.
I think it's going to be the more and more damage she takes, the harder it's going to be.
Absolutely.
These are not the crisp first round level change takedown attempts we have seen from Watanabe.
No, that's because of all the effort and all the gas that she's had to put into trying to get Arteaga to the ground. It just, there's a lot of energy being spent and really hasn't had the return on the investment that she's been looking for. Here again, she's got that body lock. She's got to do something different in getting Arteaga to the ground. See if she can do something from this point. Definitely has the ability to. Great job by Arteaga to turn into her. Now she's forcing that space, trying to elbow inside. Nice right hand, landed clean.
That time she was unable to get the separation with those shots, and so Watanabe was able to go right back on the attack.
We're just telling you, as you watch, both ladies are in incredible shape because Watanabe is working hard right now. And Arteaga is working hard to stop everything she's doing And they're both in this. They both still have gas. So right here, all of that pressure down on the head, that is exhausting.
Much closer round number 2. This fight, a big one in the women's flyweight division. History about to be made here at Saitama as we crown the first ever men's flyweight world champion. And Kyoji Horiguchi has done just about everything there is to do in this sport. Now a chance at home to add another world title to his trophy case. But this may be the future of Japanese MMA. Makoto Shinyu, he is dominant, he is flashy, and he is just 23 years old.
Yeah, I hate him for that.
It's hard not to, right?
He is so fun to watch. He's so good. He's so dominant. And the real question is, can he do to Horaguchi what he's done to all of his opponents in the past?
We're going to find out. There are levels to this, as Veta Arteaga has found out. A very tough round 2, and I think because we were surprised at what Watanabe was unable to do, it doesn't mean she didn't do enough to win the round.
That's exactly it. It's the big shots that Veta landed in the first round really didn't come. She landed a couple, but really didn't come in the second round. It was a lot more action by Watanabe. She was able to control the action based upon her grappling, and it was close. But both of them have to go after it in this third round because this fight is up in the air.
It's ironic because Watanabe spent the entire 10 minutes trying to get it to the ground. The clean strikes here from Veta Arteaga is really noticeable if you watched a lot of her fights.
Yeah,
she straightened that out.
We are so used to her throwing looping shots, big, heavy, rounded out shot, and she's been throwing really crisp, clean, straight shots down the middle, and it's made a huge difference in the performance.
Here's where Veta has to be careful early in a round in a close fight.
All that pressure down on the head. See, right now, Watanabe needs to take that left hand, grab that wrist. She missed it on that. Take it away from Arteaga. That's her base point. That's her balance point. As long as she's got that to position on the ground, she's going to be difficult for Watanabe to get to the ground.
So it's too far away.
Yep.
You can tell it is round 3. You don't need the clock and the time at the bottom to tell you what round it is. You can tell by the way they're moving.
And the best part is we always talk about on the leave them something to remember on the exit. Beautiful elbow by Arteaga, and then a nice right hand right there.
That's another part of the game plan. She's executed great in this fight is the escapes, the elbows and short shots to create some distance.
Good left hand by Watanabe. Yeah, it is exactly, we talk about all the time. If you're gonna have that position where you're able to escape, leave something there. Don't let the judges just see you get out. Let them remember that I not only got out, I got out leaving them stepping backwards based upon a hard strike.
Veta Arteaga back to the downward pressure every time Watanabe is shot.
As long as she keeps that pressure on the head, she's worried about that left arm on her ankle. Keep that pressure on the head. It's not going to work because you can't lift with your back when your head's being pushed down. Great job of creating space with that frame. You see her framing with that right arm across, trying to land elbows. Nice drop of the hip. Right back to the same position. Watanabe cannot take those. She's got to get herself up and out.
Perennial underdog from Boise, Idaho. Playing the ultimate road game, might be 2 minutes away from the biggest win of her career.
Watanabe is working so hard, a ton of energy, and like I said, this is in front of her. She's the one carrying the weight here, or she's the one carrying the burden, because this is her hometown, this is her fans, and all that pressure. She's really working hard to try to get the win. Arteaga's just being the same person we talked about. She does not give up. She does not quit.
One thing, a word we don't use a lot in Veta Arteaga performances is disciplined. You could certainly use that in this fight.
Absolutely. You can see the improvement in her fight. Right now, between this fight and her last fight, the improvement of just her stand-up in that. Look, she's always going to have a little bit of an awkward style, a little bit of a weird gait that she uses. But her straight punches, the punches going down the middle, that left jab that she's been trying to utilize it. Done a beautiful job throughout this fight.
She's always been tough. She's always been courageous.
No doubt
She's
about
always
that.
fought hard. But this is a level of skill and a discipline that we have not seen.
Arteaga needs to start, instead of just the one, she needs to just follow it up with the 1, 2, 3.
Meanwhile, that's exactly Watanabe has to shoot at some point. She's got to take a chance, and she walks right into a guillotine attempt.
We've seen Arteaga get wins with her guillotine. She's got a good guillotine. She's good on the ground, especially in the top position. So this is not great. You see Watanabe looking towards the arm.
Watanabe looking for a Hail Mary at this point. Anything. It wasn't the cleanest guillotine at all, but it was an offensive move when Watanabe desperately needs offense here late in the fight.
Nice job by Veta Arteaga. Beautiful control. Watanabe needs to move, get herself out right now. She's taking a lot of shots.
It's going to go to the judges, but any way you slice it, this has been the performance of Veta Arteaga's career.
Absolutely.
That picture will tell you everything you need to know about the last 15 minutes. And so will that one.
Take a look at what Veta Arteaga does here, because this was just an outstanding performance. She stopped just about all the takedown attempts of Kana Watanabe, and at the end, Watanabe was so frustrated in trying to get her down. Goes to her back, looks for the arm bar. It is not there. Veta just lands shots, uses good base and balance, great ground and pound. Veta Arteaga had the performance of her career tonight here in Japan. She couldn't have been any better in facing an outstanding fighter in Kana Watanabe.
I'll say what everybody's thinking, no. In Hawaii, there were people that thought Ilima-Lei McFarland might have got a little bit of a hometown decision. We are in Tokyo.
We'll see.
Michael C. Williams has the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your decision, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. All three, Sal D'Amato, Kerry Hatley, Michael Bell, scored exactly the same at 29-28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, the Judo Beauty Beast, Kana Watanabe.
A mixed reaction, obviously, from the crowd. Happy to see Watanabe win, but you get the feeling the internet's going to do what the internet does. Kana Watanabe is standing by with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Kana Watanabe. Kana, that was a grinding, grueling fight. Did you expect that out of your opponent in Arteaga?
素晴らしい熱戦を制しました。まずおめでとうございます。そしてこんな熱戦になると予想してらっしゃいましたか？
ありがとうございます。タフな戦いになることは、試合前に口では1本取るとかフィニッシュ取るとか言ってたんですけど、すごいシーソーゲームになるとは思ってました。本当1本とか日本の強さもっと見せたかったんですけど、すいません。
Well, you know, I was expecting a tough game, of course, given this opponent, but, you know, out of my imagination, really. I tried to get Ippon, couldn't achieve that. My apologies to the fans, but I'm glad I have won this.
You had one fight with Liz Carmouche, who is the flyweight champion. Is that the fight you want? Do you want a rematch with Liz and try to get that title?
フライ級、次狙っていきたいですか、そのリマッチを望んでいらっしゃいますか。
もちろん狙ってます。フライ級のタイトルに挑戦してベルトを取って、男子のフライ級と2階級日本にベルトをとどめさせたいです。
Yeah, certainly that is my next objective. I'm going to go for it. I want to bring it back to Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your winner, Kana Watanabe.
大きな拍手を渡辺香奈選手にお願いします。
Kana Watanabe goes to 12-2. She apologized to the fans here in Tokyo. I'm not sure she's the one, guys, that should be apologizing.
Josh, what do you think about the result there? Obviously, you heard Big John and Sean saying the internet's going to do what the internet's going to do. Kana Watanabe getting a win, unanimous decision. Your reaction to that?
I mean, the rounds 2 and 3 were very close, and John and Sean were talking about the fact that round 2 was very close. I had Veta winning the first round, and the 2 rounds after that, they were close. So I could see it being a unanimous decision.
Moving on tonight, it is time for Bellator history, the first ever men's flyweight world championship. And both fighters, they get to do it in their home country. 3-time world champion Kyoji Horiguchi versus 23-year-old Makoto Shinyu. He may be just 23 years old, 18-1 in his pro career. And let me tell you, this kid is absolutely fearless. He has all the confidence in the world that he could get the win here tonight. But Josh, let's start with Kyoji Horiguchi. We know these fans are so excited to see him here. And you notice this week that he's more comfortable here fighting. He always has a smile on his face, but here we get a different Kyoji Horiguchi than we normally do.
Yeah, he's relaxed. This is his home. He understands. Like, I fought in this arena many of times, and there's nothing that he believes his opponent's going to bring to the table that he hasn't seen. He's got the experience. He can do it everywhere. He is hands down one of the best flyweights in the world, if not the best flyweight in the world, and he's also one of the best bantamweights in the world. But he brings the power, the speed, the leg kicks, everything that you want from a fighter. But look, in the 125-pound division, power is not something you normally see in those fighters. Well, he's got it. He's got the speed to get in and out, and when he gets on top, he is nasty. He's got vicious ground and pound, which normally will lead him to a submission attempt and a finish there if he can't get you away with his ground and pound. He's dynamic, he's explosive, and he is hands down one of the best Japanese fighters ever.
I know they're going to talk about where he stands on the mountain of Japanese
How do you
fighter,
not?
and arguably
Yeah,
at the top. So let me ask you this about his opponent, Shinyu, 23 years old, and he is so confident that he can get this win, and he has an incredible record. He's 18-1. By the way, youngest gym owner in Japan, owned his own gym starting at 20 years old. But you don't think he understands exactly what he's up against.
There's an old saying, you don't know what you don't know until you know. And the reason why I know it's an old saying is because Big John McCarthy says it all the time. But this young man brings dynamic transitions from the wrestling to the grappling to everything. But what he loves to do is commit damage. He wants to put damage on you once he takes you down. And I feel like if he's going to win this fight, he needs to do that to Horaguchi. He needs to go out there and show him no respect and do what he's done to every single one of his other opponents. Just dominate from beginning to end. That's what he's been able to do. He's got great submissions, but what he likes to do is get you down on the ground, get you that top position, and let the ground and pound go. And he cuts you open with elbows, cuts you open with his shots. He's a very dynamic fighter.
Going up against a legend, though, in Kyoji Horiguchi, who is still very much at the top of his game. Shinyu, by the way, we mentioned he's 23 years old. He just turned 23 earlier this month on July 5th. And take a look at this. He posted this on Instagram there for his 23rd birthday. We're going to zoom in to his birthday dessert because you see it says Bellator and the characters below it. Basically saying must win, certain victory. Saying my birthday present to myself this year is a Bellator championship belt. Sean, we're going to send it back down to you for this one. This could also be a coming out party if he manages to get the win tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Youth and all those calories wasted on the young, right? It doesn't seem fair he can make that weight and eat like that.
He can burn those calories, we can't.
All right, 2 years ago, almost to the day, you saw what then was the biggest fight in Bellator history, right, with Patricky Pitbull against AJ McKee. And then it was, could the young guy unseat the guy at the top of the list who had been there? In Japan, this is that exact same fight.
It is absolutely the exact same fight because you're talking about a guy who's been there and done it all. Won titles, multiple titles in different promotions. Just everything that you could think of, Kyoji Horiguchi has done. But then there's that young gun, that guy that, you know what, he just dominates people, and it just seems like everything he does is effortless, and that is Shinyu. And he has the ability to beat anybody. Now, can he beat Horaguchi here tonight? I don't know. But the one thing I always look at, can he? And absolutely, he has that talent. Horaguchi is one of the best MMA fighters to ever come out of this country. He is so good. He is so technically proficient everywhere. You go to ATT and they talk about him with reverence because he's so good against everyone and he's so small. It doesn't matter. His technique and his speed is just incredible. But Shinyu, it's got that same kind of speed.
You know, Horiguchi, he brushed it off the other day when we talked about his place among some of these all-time legends here in Japanese MMA, but the reality is he belongs on this list.
Oh, you're taking a look at, Sakuraba here, he was the Gracie killer, and Takanori Gomi was the best lightweight in the world for quite a few years, and then you had Maki Sakurai, Hayato Sakurai, who was fighting 170, should have been a 155er. Ramina Sato here was just unbelievable in the grappling arts, and Masakazu Funaki started Pancrase here. He is just a legend. There's so many MMA fighters from Japan that are legends in the sport. You look at Horiguchi and you go, yep, he's one of them too.
And will he make more history tonight? Someone is about to become an inaugural world champion and join a very select list.
We've got a new champion!
He is the best. Make no mistake.
Are you kidding me?
That's how you say hand still.
It's all over! And the new Bellator World Champion!
Since its inception, Bellator MMA has crowned 55 world champions across 9 divisions, all different in size, in style, in discipline. But one thing they will always share, the strap, the one they proudly held above their head, wrapped around their waist, worked their entire careers, their entire lives to obtain.
We bring a championships home! Let's go!
And now, for the first time ever, Bellator is adding a new weight class.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Bellator inaugural men's flyweight world title.
The stage is set. 2 of Japan's best in a battle for the inaugural 125 belt in the country's MMA cathedral, Saitama Super Arena.
Shinryu Makoto です。ベラトル世界フライ級王者になります。僕のスタイルは、レスリングがバックボーンで、レスリングの強みがありながらも、全部できるオールラウンダーです。もともと負けず嫌いなのと、それプラスでやっぱ練習量やってるんで、そこは自信になってます。
At just 23, Makoto Shinyu has been on the fast track, winning 16 of 17 professional fights, putting himself in prime position to challenge the Japanese living legend, Kyoji Horiguchi.
こんにちは、堀口教授です。ベラトールのフライ級初代チャンピオンになるんで。
Kyoji Horiguchi, he's definitely one of the best pound for pound fighters that walks the planet.
そうですね、期待っていうよりも取らなきゃダメなものだと思ってるんで、しっかりと取って、最初のフライ級のチャンピオンになりたいなと思ってますね。
初代はやっぱずっと頭に残るというか、歴史を作るんで、僕がしっかりフィニッシュして決着つけます。世代交代じゃないですか。今この試合が、僕がこれから時代を作るきっかけの試合となります。
試合に臨む意気込みはやっぱいつも通り、ぶっ飛ばしてやるぞっていうことですけど、一その人間としてはクソガキになめんなっていう。
堀口選手の今までの格闘技生活も背負って僕がフライ級をこれから引っ張っていこうと思います。
クソガキぶっ飛ばすんで楽しみにしててください。
The two-time world champion and the hungry young phenom about to embark on Bellator history. An epic clash between 2 of Japan's finest fighters, but only one will be the first ever flyweight world title holder and 56th Bellator champion.
Look, if you're going to look at anything here, you got to go on the age. Horiguchi is not old. He is in his prime at 32. But at 23, and a young 23, he just turned 23. Shinyu is someone who is special. That's the only difference there is you can look at.
Bellator MMA Now presents tonight's double main event, leading off with 5-minute rounds for the inaugural Bellator Men's Flyweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman James Gessner, supervising and cage-side director Mike Mazzulli. And now first, introducing the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 125 pounds even, riding a 10-fight win streak, he's near perfect as a professional. 16 victories, just 1 loss, 1 draw from Sendai, Miyagi, Japan, presenting Makoto Shinryu. And across the cage, his adversary fights out of the red corner. At 5'5", weighing in 124.2 pounds, the former Bellator and 2-time Rizin bantamweight champion tonight returns to his natural weight class, bringing 31 professional victories, 5 defeats, training out of Coconut Creek, Florida, USA. He hails from Takasaki, Gunma, Japan, introducing Kyoji Horiguchi. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
For the championship, no butting of the head, no grabbing the cage, no low blows. You want to touch gloves now? Do it now.
You only get one chance to make a first championship impression.
Oh, I am looking forward to this one.
We all are. 2 different eras, 2 different styles.
First round, buddy, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Always fascinating. Do you wait for the torch to be passed, or do you just take it? Now, after the last few years of fighting at 135, what's the first thing Horiguchi has to deal with when coming back down?
You know, speed. Every time you look at, you know, fighters, and the heavier guys get, the slower they get. Might have had a poke right there. A little bit of poke of the eye. I didn't see it in my back. I saw the back of Shinyu when that occurred.
Yep.
He's got time. He's got time. He's got time. Don't worry about it.
You can see as Horiguchi came out, those fingers got extended. They absolutely touched the right eye of Makoto Shinyu.
All right, John, run everybody through the procedure here that Jason Herzog is dealing with.
So what Jason Herzog is going to deal with is at first he wants to give time to Makoto so he can try to clear his eye out, get himself back. Obviously, you know, that eye is in a position where now it's affected. No matter even, you know, just a little bit, that puts him at a disadvantage. So we want to give him time, as much time as we can. That is up to 5 minutes. So he's got 5 minutes to work with. And what he's trying to do right now is get a wet towel. He's going to bring a wet towel over to Makoto so he can take that and kind of help cool his eye down a little bit, put a little bit of fluid to it. It helps him in getting his vision back a little bit clearer at times. It just makes the fighter feel a little bit better with their eye. And then if he has to, he'll bring in the ringside physician. Right now he's utilizing an interpreter so he can have Makoto be able to speak with him through the interpreter, but he's going to bring a doctor in possibly to look at him. He's going to do everything he can to try to make the fight be able to go on and get Shinyu back as close to 100% as he can. If the fight can't go on, then this is going to end up being a no contest, which would be a tragedy. But I think from the actions that I'm seeing out of Makoto Shinyu, he's going to end up coming back.
What role does the fighter have in the decision?
The fighter doesn't really have any role. The big thing, if you want to say, do they have a role? When they say, I can't see, the fight's going to end. They're not going to put somebody back out there that says, I can't see. Then you're putting basically a blind fighter out there. That's not, something we're going to do. So as long as the fighter is working to try to clear his vision out and says, you know what, yeah, I'm okay, and the doctor looks and doesn't see anything as far as any kind of scratches or anything as far as punctures or anything like that, then we'll probably get the fight going again. Right now you can see he's trying to give him the basic eye test of, how many fingers. I want you to, is the action of the eye moving left to right, and is it fluid? That's what they're looking at right now.
It's coming 30 seconds into round 1 of a 5-round World Championship fight.
And right now, what Jason Herzog is saying, let's give him a little bit more time. Let's let him try to, take some time to clear out the eye. The doctor doing his thing with the, can you see this right now? Are you seeing clearly? And you're not always going to see what we talk about as perfectly clear as you did before. It does sometimes take time for your eye to clear out after a poke. Well, now, right now, we're down to close to about 1 minute left in time.
Of the 5, and obviously what adds to you're adding a translation into this, which is when you're dealing with, you got the clock on one hand, and then you got the Tower of Babel on the other.
Yep. Now Jason Herzog's going to talk to the doctor. Ask Shinyu, does he want to continue?
Yeah, we need
look at the doctor and say, can he continue? And that'll be the decision.
That's what Jason Herzog's saying. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, it's exactly what you're saying, John. Because Jason Herzog knows that time is up.
Yep, and the fight is over.
The fight is over.
He says that he can't see out of that eye.
It will be a no contest. 30 seconds into a fight we have all been waiting for.
Fighter is unable to see out of his eye due to an
very unfortunate ending, obviously, but you're not going to risk a 23-year-old phenom and a rising star. You can't put him in there with one eye against Kyoji Horiguchi.
No, and and a lot of people, you're going to look and they're going to be upset that, he didn't continue on. You don't know what is going on. All I can tell you is if you've ever been poked in the eye, there are times that, you can put up with it and it's not going to change anything 10 seconds later. And there's times that you are feeling it hours later and still, it feels like something is stuck in your eye. So, I don't look at Shinyu in any way of, hey, you can't continue on, don't continue on if you can't see clearly.
Ma'am. Okay, so this is an unintentional foul. And the fighter is unable to continue.
One more look, watch the left hand, fingers are out of the glove of Horiguchi. Right there.
As he throws it, and what he's trying to do is parry that hand down to bring the right hand over the top and land it. It's just that the fingers end up going into that eye, and that was what is going to end this fight.
Slide area. Coach.
Never mind. I was kidding.
Michael C. Williams with the words nobody wanted to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our world title fight with one of the fighters unable to continue as a result of an accidental eye poke.
さて会場の皆様、そしてこちら生放送をご覧の皆様にご説明いたします。故意でない攻撃によって競技の続行不能と判断されました。
Upon its conclusion, it will go officially at 25 seconds into round number 1 as a no contest.
よって1ラウンド25秒ノーコンテストとさせていただきます。ノーコンテストとさせていただきます。
A fight so many of us were looking forward to around the world, guys, and sometimes these things happen, right? You know what they say?
Just talked about how excited I was for it, and I got nothing. But this is what happens, and it's better to fight this fight another day than to have someone go out there with an eye that they can't see out of fighting someone as good as Horaguchi.
Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, Josh is up here. Josh, your thoughts? I mean, obviously not anything wanted to see, the fans, either fighter. I mean, they were both so excited for this. It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, I've been in these situations, like John was saying. We don't know what's going through the fighter's mind. There's times where I've been poked in the eye, and I was like, right away, I could go. And it was deep, and you could feel it, the finger go deep. But then there's times where it was just a graze, and I couldn't see for almost a day and a half. So it just takes times. You don't know what the fighter's going through at that moment, so obviously you're going to hold judgment no matter what the situation is.
Well, and especially with something so big on the line, you want to be at your best in that moment.
You just can't risk it. This opportunity may never come again. We talk about guys like Dan Marino getting back to the Super Bowl. It's going to happen next year. No, you never know what's going to happen. So this is his one opportunity. He didn't want to lose it. So it's up to him on what the decision was. But
good thing about tonight, we have 2 main events here, and it is time for the other one, the continuation of the Lightweight World Grand Prix. And for this, we do have a shift in the bracket. We were set to watch AJ McKee versus Patricky Pitbull, both former champs, but AJ McKee had to pull out last minute. He is dealing with a staph infection. Instead, we have Rizin lightweight champ Roberto de Souza stepping in on 6 days' notice. If he wins, he does get to stay in the tournament on the road to $1 million. Now, Josh, let's start with Dudusi here. At the top of the show, we mentioned when he got the call on Sunday, he was at a barbecue. The very first thing he thought was, oh my gosh, my weight, his weight's fine, he's in phenomenal shape. But he said the second thing I thought of, 5 rounds. He's never gone a full 5 rounds before. He is the lightweight champ, as I mentioned, at Rizin. But how does he approach this going in there with a 5-round fight?
I honestly believe he needs to be aggressive in that first round while Patricky Pitbull is still dry. Attack the submissions. Go for broke in that first round. What he does so well is make the transition from the double leg to the single leg into the body lock and get into the back. And then when he gets on top, his transitions into that triangle are phenomenal. He can hit his triangle from anywhere, from the back, from falling off to the front, from his own back. I mean, he will try and hit this thing from anywhere. He's great on the guillotines. Also, when he gets to your back, he looks for that rear naked choke. This guy is one of the best grapplers in the game, and his size, when you see them at the weigh-ins, you see the 2 of them. I looked at Satoshi and I said, wow, he is a lot bigger than Patricky Pitbull.
Let's talk about, though, Patricky Pitbull, the former champion with Bellator. You have actually fought against him, so talk to us about why he is so dangerous in this fight.
He's so patient. He knows what he possesses. He possesses power in both hands. And when it comes down to his striking, he understands what he's got to do. Don't overextend himself. Let the fight develop in front of him. Let Satoshi come after him, and as he does that, he lets his hands go. Be patient, but when he hurts you, he puts you away. Against Peter Queally, he was patient in this fight. He was just touching him, and ultimately it presented itself. He was able to clip him and rock him, and then he put him away. Patricky Pitbull, just like his brother, the 2 of them are finishers. When they have you hurt, they finish you.
Patricky Pitbull and Roberto de Souza, we do want to mention that they're friends. They actually talked a couple months ago about facing off. They didn't see it unfolding like this, and they said, look, we can be friends for not 30 minutes.
There's $1 million on the line. We can put the friendship aside.
All right, well, that 30 minutes, the clock starts now.
Roberto de Souza, one of the best in the game today. Vicious ground and pound by de Souza.
This guy is remarkable when the fight hits the ground.
A scintillating submission artist. And de Souza with another slick submission.
Roberto Souza.
Oh, good luck. This is it. We're done.
I'm the king of chaos.
And it's all over.
Let's go.
Patricky Pitbull. Calm, cool, collected, and as dangerous as they come.
Take a look at the tail of the tape. Everything is very close, but it's that 160-pound weight. Because since this was a last-minute thing for de Souza, they gave him a weight allowance of 161. Both fighters came in at 160 pounds and are happy to do so.
Everybody else in the tournament okayed that as well. It is Grand Prix time. It is co-main event time. It's Michael C. Williams time.
Bellator MMA Live from Saitama Super Arena. The time has come to conclude our double main event. We close out the quarter-final round of the $1 million Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. And now, set for 5 5-minute rounds, we introduce the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 160.6 pounds, the reigning Rizin lightweight champion stands with 15 professional victories, 2 defeats. Originally from Sao Paulo, Brazil, he's fighting out of Iwata, Shizuoka, Japan, presenting Roberto Satoshi da Souza. And across the cage, his adversary fights out of the red corner at 5'7", weighing in 160 pounds even. The former Bellator lightweight world champion holds a veteran professional record with 24 wins, 11 defeats. Now ranked at number 2, he hails from Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Patricky Pitbull. And your referee, Kerry Hatley.
Conduct yourself like main event fighters at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Obey the rules we went over in the dressing room at all times. Protect yourself, fight hard. Here we go.
4 years ago here, they shared a locker room. Roberto de Souza calls Patricky Pitbull Professor. Patricky Pitbull invited him to come to Brazil to help working on his stand-up.
You ready? Let's go.
Is he going to be sorry he didn't take him up on that offer? We're about to find out.
There is no doubt in the stand-up game, Patricky is going to be much more comfortable. He's got the power. Souza, like I said, his stand-up is coming along, but when it hits the ground, that entire aspect is going to change. One has to be very careful on the feet. One has to be super careful on the ground.
We've seen over the years different approaches guys take on short notice fights.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people are going to think, well, it's such an advantage for Pitbull. It's not. He's facing a different opponent. He's facing someone that is completely different than the fighter that he was working himself to get ready for in AJ McKee. So it's not an advantage for Pitbull in any way. He's actually, taking a chance because of that style change.
Roberto de Souza talked to us the other day about being patient. Is that the best strategy for a guy who has to win this fight by submission? Does he have to win it early?
I don't know if it is, because it's one of those, you take a look and you say, he has to be patient as far as the stand-up, but he has to go after the ground and the submission. He has to go after the takedown. He has to go after Pitbull while he's dry, because that's going to help with the submission in locking it in. When Pitbull gets wet, it's going to be easy for him to slip out of things.
35 professional fights for Patricky Pitbull. Only 2 have ended by submission. He won one in 2010. He lost one in 2012. That is indication. He was a BJJ champion back home, but that was a long time ago.
And it's everything's about what you practice the most. And the Pitbull brothers as a team, they've really gotten into being what we call sprawling brawlers. They are guys that want to stand up, use the power that they have, and they both have supreme power. And I want to keep the fight where I'm the one controlling the pace, I'm the one controlling the position. They've been very, very proficient at doing that.
Level change easily stuffed.
And that right there is the question. We know that Pitbull has got good wrestling defense. He is not easy to take down. And so it might be that you see Satoshi actually pulling guard, actually going to his back to try to get the fight down to the ground where he believes that he has the skill set, and I do too, to submit Pitbull.
Satoshi, a 3-time world champion, 2006, 2008, 2010 for BJJ. His father, legend. The story of the Pitbull brothers has been written, but the forgotten part always, and it was such a great part of the story of Patricky winning that world title, is that they were both 145ers when they came here, but they weren't going to fight each other. So somebody had to go to 155. The older brother Patricky did. And then it was Patricio who gave up the 155 title that opened the door eventually for Patricky to fight for it and win it in double.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been so good for each other because they have helped each other get better. And you have that person that is a high-quality fighter that is honest with you, tells you the things that, hey, you need to improve here. This is what you need to do different. And you can believe them, and you work at those things, and you know what? That's the difference in you becoming a winner.
Flying knee from De Souza. I mentioned this earlier, but Patricky is the most tournament-tested fighter. This is his 11th tournament fight because he fought in the Rizin tournaments. He fought in the early Bellator tournament.
Yep. And one thing you're noticing right now, just take a look at the patience. And this is where, Patricky is just out there. He's very patient. He's waiting for his moments, and then he explodes. And he goes after you with a ferocity and power in those hands that he can end the fight at any moment.
He tries to jump knee. Which you don't see from him often.
He'll definitely go for the flying knee and stuff, but you take a look, he's so nice and relaxed in his approach, and the way he just keeps coming, marching forward. You see that little step back? He's the one that says, I want you to come toward me. He is a good counter fighter, and he's waiting for you to attack him so he can counter. And sometimes guys get so, I'm worried about that they don't attack him, and he's got to come forward, step forward, and start throwing.
Good exchange at the end of round one. Stop. Here's that scramble at the end of round one.
Yeah, right at the end we had a nice exchange here. You see the nice spinning wheel kick by Pitbull, but the right hand is what really did the good damage. The right hand down the middle. De Souza came back with a beautiful little left check hook, but it didn't have the intensity of that right hand.
We need a towel.
So we've seen fighters during fight week struggle to make weight. You go through your process. And we haven't really talked so much about Roberto De Souza in his week, and all of a sudden you're taking that last few days of pressure off to make weight for Patricky.
Absolutely. And again, the pressure of the new opponent, it's so difficult for people to understand when you are then practicing and looking towards a certain style, and all of a sudden that style completely changes. It changes your outlook on the fight.
So we're wishing AJ McKee the best. He put out some pictures this week on social media, and the staph infection is just not something you mess around with.
No, we talk about, if there's one thing in the grappling arts that you have to deal with all the time, it's skin diseases and different types of infections. Here you go with Satoshi actually looking for that takedown. He knows he didn't get it, goes towards grabbing that, getting into guard. Pitbull right away says, I'm not going to play your game. That's a smart fighter. Don't play another man's game. Make him get to his feet. You're the one in control of the position. That's what he does.
You heard the super smart Japanese crowd react immediately because they understood the significance of the moment. Whether or not you speak Portuguese, the voice of Patricio Pitbull is so familiar. It cuts through, and obviously it's a quiet building, but you don't even have to look around to know who's talking.
No, you don't. That's his brother, and he's just barking out little instructions about positioning, where he wants him to be, and what he sees as an opening.
There was about a 2-year period as kids where they did not speak to each other. You can imagine what that house was like.
I couldn't imagine them not speaking to each other because they're so good together.
Yep.
You see them with their families all the time, you know, being together and everything. They lean on each other. You know, they believe in each other, and they're their strongest, you know, assets.
We've watched their families grow. We talk about the Bellator record book and one day a Bellator Hall of Fame. They are just dotted all over every category.
One of the things that you'll see Pitbull do a lot in his other fights is he will, you know, look towards the takedown is just to feign it. He's not even doing that because he's like, nope, I'm not going to, he knows I'm not going to try to take him down, so I'm not even going to go with it. I'm just going to straight out, stand up, make this as much of a kickboxing fight as I can.
Combination from Patricky, the switch stance. Again, not only 6 days notice, but his first ever, Satoshi's first ever 5-round fight. So there's a lot of things to be thinking about here with a very dangerous guy in front of you.
That's what Satoshi needs to do. Don't go after him with one shot. You got to go after him throwing combinations because it's always the second, third, fourth shot that's going to land. But every time that you do throw those shots, you're giving the opportunity for Pitbull to counter. It's a nice low calf kick by Pitbull. Those add up quickly.
Souza's been a very difficult guy to finish. He's only been finished once, 17 pro fights. There's the shot. And even A.J. McKee had his moments, but didn't get the finish. Best combination there of the fight from Patricky.
That wasn't a bad shot. That actually got him pretty deep, and Pitbull just stonewalled it.
There's the jump knee, and that one got through.
That hurt. He should go after him, and he got hurt by that one.
Patricky's trying to decide, is he trying to lure me in, or was he hurt? And it looked from the naked eye like he was hurt.
Yep.
Kerry Hatley saying, get up, and Roberto's thinking, easy for you to say.
Get up, yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to. I'm not sure that Patricky understood how bad he actually hurt him.
Yeah, he did. That brings us to the end of round 2. So a moment for Patricky, but it passes.
Here you see Pitbull, nice, beautiful 1-2 combination going down the middle. And he threw this knee right here. That hit, you saw, it hit the chin, almost knocked the mouthpiece of Satoshi out. That hurt him bad, but he misread it in that he wasn't sure if Satoshi was playing possum and just trying to suck him into a ground battle, so he wanted to step back. I can understand why he did it, but he actually did more damage than he thought.
Yeah, that was not, let me pull you into guard. That was,
nope.
I just got tagged.
All right, gentlemen, round 3. Here we go.
That was, I'm seeing 3 of you right now.
Grab the one in the middle. 2 rounds for Patricky.
No doubt about it. You know, you take a look, he's the one in control of the fight. He's the one landing the bigger shots. Satoshi's got to change it up, figure out how to change the momentum of this fight and get it to the ground.
Souza's tried to shoot a couple of times. There's a leg kick. He is down.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's not going to make it out of it.
No way.
It's over.
Curls up, and we're done.
That just took his foundation away. He's going to be able to walk around now, but It's a matter of those little calf kicks add up, and it only takes one more to make it to where all of a sudden that foundation crumbles. And that's what happened with Souza.
We have seen so many lightning knockouts from the fists of Patricky Pitbull, but that time the calf kick just put it over the top.
There's a replay right here. You can see Pitbull comes forward, lands that beautiful calf kick, crosses over, down goes to Souza right away. And that's not a guy who's looking for a submission. That's a guy who's looking to keep from getting hurt. And he's already in trouble as far as that calf and that leg is not functioning right. And this is, you can take a look. A lot of people aren't excited by, leg kicks, but this is a serious element in this sport. And you're taking a look at, you take away the foundation, Sean, there's no way for you to fight. You can't create power if you don't have a foundation. And that's what he's doing by all those calf kicks and taking the legs out.
The professor and the student forged a bond here 4 years ago. Last thing they thought even a week ago is that they'd be in the cage against each other with such high stakes here. But Roberto de Souza stepped up until Patricky Pitbull chopped him down. And among the most unique of his 17 career knockout wins as he continues to climb the all-time leaderboard in Bellator history and advance to the semifinals of the lightweight Grand Prix. He was game, Rizin's lightweight champion. But a dominant performance from Patricky Pitbull on to the semifinals. Michael C. Williams makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end. 49 seconds into round number 3 by TKO. He earns his spot in the semi-final round of the $1 million Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. The winner, Patricky Pitbull.
The former world champion has reached and climbed step 1 of his 3 steps back to the top of the lightweight division with his 17th career knockout, and he's with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Patricky Pitbull. Patricky, that was a beautifully done, systematic fight where you just broke it down. Punches, kicks, and the leg kicks in the end were the telling call.
And the flying knee also.
Did you know that you had him hurt with the flying knee? Because it seemed like you really didn't. It looked like you thought he was playing possum.
Yes, he landed the right hand all the time. His right hand is very, very dangerous. But sometimes he landed the right hand to try to take down or put the guard. So I just wait the right moment to connect the flying knee and put him down and try to finish. Just calm and did my job, do my job.
はい、大変、美しいファイトを見せていただいたというふうに質問を投げていただきましたけれども、ありがとうございます。ホベルト・サトシ・ソーザ選手、右手の打撃、注意しなければいけないなと思っていました。そこからの彼の動き、テイクダウンに来るのか、それとも、ガードだけで終わるのか、そのあたりをよく読みながら、狙ってました。飛び蹴りということで膝がうまく入ったところから、自分のペースに呼び込めたと思います。
This win puts you into the semifinals of the Lightweight World Grand Prix. Your opponent, you already know, is Alexander Shabley. What's your thoughts on your opponent?
I will take my win. That's it. I don't have a lot of work to do. I just need to do my job and take the win to stay on the way to the 1 million. And I want to say thank you so much, Mikura Sakura, because he paid everything to come here and train with him, and help a lot, and my team also. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu, Nihon.
さて今回ですね、ベラトールライト級ワールドグランプリの、これで準々決勝を制したということで、次の試合に進むことになります。対戦相手、アレクサンドル・シャブリーとなります。それに対して、答えはですね、もうただただ自分の仕事をやるのみ、そして勝利するのみ、 そして多くのスポンサーの方々の、ご支援があって今この場に立てていると思いますので、この場をお借りして皆さんのその声援に対する感謝とともに、感謝の気持ちを伝えたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Congratulations on a beautiful performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Patricky Pitbull.
もう一度拍手をお願いいたします。
He has loved every minute he has spent here in Japan in this part of his Bellator career. And he is on to the semifinals. Our final fight of the night has given us a final four in the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. As we update the bracket for you, here's what it looks like now. What it looks like now with the current world champion and 2 former world champions making up 3 of the final 4 in the lightweight World Grand Prix. Our former lightweight world champion is Josh Thompson, and he and Amanda standing by to wrap up another fascinating night.
Sean, let's get this two-time world champ Josh Thompson, who still, by the way, has speed because this is the second largest indoor arena in the world, and somehow you made it all the way cage side for that one. Talk to us about what you saw down there.
There's a lot of cardio in my training camps and staircases, so I'm used to this. But what I saw out there was a very strategic game plan by Patricky Pitbull. I thought that Souza should have went after him a little bit more in that first round while they were still dry, pressed the takedowns. He didn't do that. As the fight went on, the takedowns got harder and harder. And Patricky started to settle in. Like I said earlier, he is very patient. He's a patient fighter. He knows what he possesses, which is power in both hands. And that's exactly what happened. The hands set up the kicks, and the kicks led to the finish.
Valiant effort from Souza stepping in on 6 days' notice. We saw Patricio down there next to his brother, of course, cheering him on. So Patricky Pitbull moving on, facing Alexander Shabley. How do you see this setting up and his chances to maybe win this whole tournament?
I've trained with Alexander Shabley. He is a sniper on the feet. He is a fantastic wrestler, great takedown defense. He doesn't utilize his wrestling enough. He's very much similar to Patricky. He is somebody who utilizes his wrestling to keep it on the feet and let the hands go. Different styles in the way they fight, though, on the feet. Patricky Pitbull is someone who will load up and let the shots go because he possesses that power, whereas Shabley, he is a sniper. He will pick and choose his shots, and he will make you miss and make you pay. So this should be a great fight on the feet.
Big smiles from Patricky Pitbull there. And by the way, love the dance moves at the beginning. We always don't see that from him. An incredible night here in Japan. Years ago, Andrey Koreshkov lost by 1 point to Lorenz Larkin. Now both in the top 10 in the rankings. This one would go the distance, only flipping history on its head. Koreshkov winning by split decision. After that, a bantamweight brawl. Danny the Italian gangster Sabatello versus Magomed. Magomedov. Danny Sabatello never submitted in his career. That ended in Japan. After that, Kana Watanabe in her home country taking on Veta Arteaga. Watanabe third in the rankings with the support of her fans. It went the distance and she got the win. Then it was time for Bellator history, the men's flyweight world championship. Legendary Kyoji Horiguchi versus the phenom up-and-comer Shinyu, but it was the outcome no one wanted, an accidental eye poke 30 seconds in. Shinyu tried to recover, but in the end, this one was no contest. The other main event, the continuation of the lightweight world Grand Prix, former Bellator champ Patricky Pitbull versus Rizin, a lightweight world champion Roberto de Souza. De Souza stepping in on 6 days' notice, but Patricky Pitbull dominant, doing damage.